At the peak of their powers, they were two of the best footballers the game had ever seen. From peaking at the same time to so many awards, Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi shared football's biggest stage for over 15 years. But who had the better peak when it gets down to it? Ronaldo's rise to fame was stunning. He went from being the guy who pulled moves
like that off every match day to this, scoring bangers for fun. On Lionel Messi's part, the little magician was already being seen as the future of the club, even from the start. Barcelona's icon at the time, Ronaldinho, predicted that Messi would be the best in the world. And it's safe to say he wasn't wrong. Or was he? The first time we got to see a Ronaldo versus Messi showdown was in 2008. Manchester United won this one 1-0 on two legs thanks to Paul Scholes' goal in the second leg, but Ronaldo and Messi's performance in both legs had laid a marker. And to be honest, that season, Ronaldo edged it. His goal in the Champions League was the crowning moment. He backed 42 goals in all competitions that season for United and broke the then Premier League record for the most goals in a Premier League season, with 31. See, Ronaldo's 2007-8 season set a marker. He won the Ballon d'Or and became the youngest player to score 30-plus goals in a 38-game Premier League season. Ronaldo set records it had taken years to build, and Messi's response came immediately after. If the 2007-8 season belonged to Cristiano Ronaldo, the 08-09 season was for Lionel Messi. 38 goals and 19 assists in 51 games. Messi balled out. Pep Guardiola started playing him in a false nine role
that gave him the freedom to roam the pitch as he wanted, and in return, Messi was unstoppable. Some of his performances that season were out of this world, starting that 6-2 drubbing of Real Madrid at the Bernabeu with 2 goals, a hat-trick against Atletico Madrid in the Copa del Rey round of 16 first leg, a goal and an assist in the Copa del Rey final versus Athletic Club, but his biggest moment that season came against Ronaldo's team. Just like Ronaldo had done a year earlier, Messi also scored a hatter in the Champions League final to help Barca win 2-0. The stage was already set, and in the summer of 2009, things got even more interesting. Ronaldo's then world record move to Real Madrid meant he and Messi were now going to be in direct competition with each other. Truth is, they'd both entered their peak eras with 1 Ballon d'Or each. Messi and Ronaldo were sharing a stage only the two of them could hold. And in the first season they both got to spend in direct competition in Spain, it was on. In the 2009-10 season, Messi edged it. 47 goals to Ronaldo's 33, 11 assists to Ronaldo's 8. Ronaldo had the better goals per game ratio, but that's because he played fewer games. Looking at the performances from both that season, Messi had special moments, and it didn't get any better than when he single-handedly took down one of English football's biggest teams, the Messi Show versus Arsenal. 4 goals. Messi had 4 hat-tricks in total to Ronaldo's 1, and with both of them in similar positions at the time, we could count dribbling as a thing. They were both decent dribblers that season, but when they were ranked aside, Messi's 206 dribbles were better than Ronaldo's 105. The 2009-10 season, Messi won, and at the end of the year, he took home the game's biggest award as proof. Down to the 10-11 season now, and this one was tighter than you'd think. Actually, it was incredibly tight. Cristiano Ronaldo played 54 games that season and ended up with 53 goals and 18 assists. Lionel Messi, 55 games, 53 goals, and 27 assists. Yep, both had the same amount of goals in that campaign. The reason why this was so tight was because each managed to have special campaigns in different competitions. Starting with Messi, he saved his best performance from
the Champions League. 12 goals in the competition that year meant he finished as the competition's top scorer, including that goal in the final. Honestly, this version of Messi might go down as the deadliest football has ever seen. He combined everything effectively: speed dribbling, close control, assists, goals, special movements. I'll get to what happened when he and Ronaldo met that season, but it's over to the Portuguese superstar now. And Ronaldo had an equally special season in his own right. 40 goals in La Liga. Ronaldo became the first player to reach 40 goals in the competition. He couldn't quite replicate the same amount of performances in other competitions. And now going down to the head-to-head between the two. The competition was hard. They both had epic games against each other that season. In the first El Clásico of the campaign, Messi won it hands down. That video of him leaving with Ronaldo watching on the side still hits hard. They also met in the Champions League semifinals, and in the first leg, Messi settled it. 2 goals at the Bernabeu on Ronaldo's turf. The season didn't end without Ronaldo dropping a response, though. They also met in the Copa del Rey final, and at the time, Barcelona was on the verge of making history. They were aiming to win
a second treble in 3 years, having won the Liga and the Champions League. The Copa del Rey was supposed to complete the set, but Ronaldo had other plans. He scored the winner in extra time to win his first trophy with Madrid and deny Barcelona from winning the Copa del Rey. Messi had more appearances with 55 to Ronaldo's 54, but the goal per game ratio favored Ronaldo, 0.98 to Messi's 0.96. Messi had 4 hat-tricks, Ronaldo had 7. Ronaldo also scored 5 free kicks to Messi's 1, and honestly, it's hard to pick a winner. I mean, yeah, Messi won the Ballon d'Or, but on a side-by-side comparison with Ronaldo, there was very little between them that season. If anything, Ronaldo kind of had a slightly better campaign. And so in the 2011-12 season, Messi set out to change that. 2012 was Messi's year. 73 goals in 60 appearances, 30 assists, 103 goal contributions for Barcelona that season. This sounds insane, and that's because it is. For club and country that season, Messi had 82. A lot of incredible performances that year, but the pick of the bunch has to be when he destroyed Bayern Leverkusen in the Champions League, 5 goals, or this solo banger versus Atletico Madrid. You get the idea. Messi was staggering that year. So staggering that at the end of 2012, he'd broken the record for the most goals in the calendar year by Gerd Müller with 91 goals, a feat that might never be matched again.
An amazing year and won the Ballon d'Or later on doesn't mean Ronaldo's standards dropped. It even improved. Ronaldo scored 60 goals in all competitions for Real Madrid that year and helped them win La Liga in the process. I think it's safe to say the 2011-12 season was pretty clear between Messi and Ronaldo. Messi more than edged it. He broke football. Ronaldo needed a comeback. Now, 2012-13. And this was a strange season for both Ronaldo and Messi. Starting with Messi, he and Barcelona won La Liga, but other than that, it was disappointing collectively. Still, Messi put up the numbers. 60 goals and 15 assists in 56, 69 goals and 18 assists in 62 matches for club and country. Decent numbers. In the 2012-13 season, Ronaldo had 5 fewer goals to Messi's 60 with 55 for Real Madrid. But in the Champions, he finished as the competition's top scorer with 12 goals. 59 goals in all competitions for club and country. See guys, the reason this felt like a strange season for both players was because neither could find the edge in terms of trophies or the usual winning standard they set over the years. They effectively matched each other both on and off the pitch. Pique el Clásico. Ultimately, Ronaldo's 12 goals in the Champions League helped him take home the Champions League Golden Boot Award, despite getting knocked out in the semis, same stage as Messi also got knocked out. At the end of the year, it was Ronaldo who took home football's biggest prize. Down to the 2013-14 season now, and this one had a clear winner. Starting with Lionel Messi, he continued to perform to a decent level, but couldn't quite match his high standards. 41 goals for Barcelona that season, 14 assists, 56 games played,
Champions League goals, and a couple of memorable performances along the way. A hat-trick against Ajax in the Champions League to begin his campaign, and in El Clásico, he bagged his second hat-trick in a fixture. But ultimately, the season belonged to Cristiano Ronaldo. He finally took Real Madrid to the promised land. This goal in the Champions League final versus Atletico Madrid capped off an incredible year. 17 goals in the competition. He set a record no one has been able to beat to date. Top scorer in La Liga 2 with 31 goals for club and country that season, Ronaldo finished with 62 goals in 48 appearances, as opposed to Messi's 48 and 57 appearances. And at the end of the season, it was Ronaldo who took home the Ballon d'Or. But it's crazy to think how it could all have been so different. Messi and Argentina got to the final of the World Cup that year, and you just get the general idea that if they won it, that Ballon d'Or would have been incredibly tight. 2014-15 witnessed the end of the peak debate. And honestly, it couldn't have been more fitting, because it gave a sign of things to come. Messi and Barcelona, they completed football again. The Champions League sealed it. They'd done a second treble in 6 years. Messi finished with 58 goals and 27 assists in 57 matches, and his 2014-15 season was out of this world. That was Messi, and together with Luis Suarez and Neymar, the MSN took over Europe with 120 goals in all competitions. It didn't mean Cristiano Ronaldo didn't put up a fight, though.
Honestly, it felt like it was Ronaldo.
Versus the Barcelona front three that season, because his numbers from an individual perspective are amazing. He, Messi, and Neymar finished as the joint Champions League top scorers with 10 goals. Despite the Emerson's dominance, it was Ronaldo who finished as the league's top scorer with 48 goals that season, 66 goals in all competitions to Messi's 62. And the summary from that season was Ronaldo topped the goal-scoring charts, Messi won the trophies. Now guys, there's been the argument that Ronaldo also peaked between 2016 to 2018, especially in the Champions League. And while this is true to an extent, anyone who watched Ronaldo play before this period knows there was a shift. After a knee injury he suffered against Real Valladolid in 2014, his game changed and he was no more that player who wanted to dribble and take on players as well as score. Instead, Ronaldo focused majorly on becoming one of the best poachers and goal scorers in the game. Messi won more trophies and more Ballon d'Ors in that period, but Ronaldo held his own. Plus, his records in Champions Leagues were outstanding, and CR7 is a brand in itself. From those 8 years, from 2007 to 2015, they put up ridiculously insane numbers that would be impossible to beat. So, who was the better of the two? Let us know in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe to Gold Zone while you're at it.
At the end of the day, football was never just about statistics, trophies, or even Ballon d'Ors. It was about moments. Moments that made millions of fans jump from their seats. Moments that made grown men cry. And moments that made an entire generation fall in love with the beautiful game. Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi didn't just dominate football, they defined it. They redefined what it means to be great. Two men with completely different paths, different personalities, and different styles, yet forever connected by one thing: their undying hunger to be the best. Ronaldo, the embodiment of discipline, determination, and self-belief. From Madeira's narrow streets to the grandest stages of football, his story is a lesson in perseverance. Every goal, every jump, every celebration screamed, "I worked for this." And Messi, the purest gift football ever gave. The boy who turned simplicity into magic. The player who never needed words. His feet told the story. A story of joy, of creativity, of art in motion. When Messi had the ball, time itself seemed to pause. They pushed each other, inspired each other, and in a way, completed each other. Without Ronaldo, Messi's dominance might never have been questioned. Without Messi, Ronaldo's hunger might never have burned so bright. For over a decade, the world was divided, Team Messi or Team Ronaldo. But when you step back and see it from a distance, you realize we were all just team football. We were lucky to witness the two greatest players to ever play this game at the same time. Their rivalry wasn't just about who scored more or who lifted more trophies. It was about legacy, about how they made people feel. Every El Clásico was a global event. Every Champions League night felt like a festival. And every highlight reel felt like history being written right in front of us. Now, as time passes and both legends slowly step away from their peaks, we look back not with debate, but with gratitude. Gratitude for the countless nights they gave us. The hat tricks, the last-minute winners, the tears, the passion, the perfection. Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi didn't just play football, they became football. So maybe the real question isn't who is better. Maybe the real question is, what will football even look like without them? Because when the dust settles, when the boots are hung, and when new stars rise, the world will always remember that once upon a time, two legends made football feel divine.
But even though the golden age may have passed, its echo will live on forever. Every kid kicking a ball in the streets today, every dream that begins in a dusty field, it's because of them. When a child tries a knuckleball free kick, he's channeling Ronaldo. When another weaves through defenders with tiny touches, she's imitating Messi. Their influence doesn't end with their careers, it begins there. They showed us that greatness isn't a gift, it's a choice. Ronaldo taught the world that no dream is too far when your will is unbreakable. Messi taught us that even if you're small in size, your heart can be giant. Together, they taught us that passion, dedication, and belief can rewrite history itself. When we look back at those unforgettable nights, the Champions League comebacks, the El Clásicos, the tears, the roars, we'll realize something. Football wasn't just a game during their era.
It was a feeling. It brought nations together. It started debates that still haven't ended, and it gave the world something to believe in. Because every time Messi danced through defenders or Ronaldo rose higher than anyone thought humanly possible, we saw something beyond sport. We saw art. Years from now, people will talk about records being broken, about new stars rising, but there will always be a pause before anyone compares them to Messi and Ronaldo. Because deep down, everyone knows this kind of rivalry doesn't happen twice. The future of football belongs to new names, Mbappe, Haaland, and those yet to come. They'll create their own legacies, their own magic, but they'll forever walk in the shadows of two giants who changed everything. And maybe that's the beauty of it all. Because every era needs its heroes. Every generation needs a story that inspires them. And ours had Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. They gave us more than goals and trophies. They gave us identity. They gave us childhoods filled with joy, nights filled with excitement, and a lifetime of memories that will never fade. So wherever they are now, whether it's in Saudi Arabia, Miami, or somewhere far from the spotlight, they'll always carry the love of billions who grew up watching them. And as long as football exists, their names will be whispered in every stadium. Their highlights will keep playing on screens, and their stories will keep inspiring the next generation to dream big. Because legends never retire. They live on, in every kick, every goal, every cheer. So here's to the two men who gave us everything. To the unforgettable rivalry that defined a generation. To the magic that made us believe in miracles. To Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo.
The two sides of football's greatest story. Thank you for making football what it is today. Thank you for the memories. Thank you for the magic. The world will move on, but their legacy will never fade.